I'm John Kaiser at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver, January 23rd, 2026. I am here with Robin Dow, CEO of Nevada Organic Phosphate. Robin, welcome to Vancouver.
Hello, John.
Robin, you spent 3 or 4 years struggling to get permission to drill the Murdoch Mountain project, and it has an even older history. And you finally got permission to drill enough holes on the lease A, the A bed, and you reported good results, 10-12% over sort of 3.5 to 4.5 meter true thickness. So the bed has got a good grade, but that grade doesn't compare well with the Idaho phosphate beds, which are 25-35%. But those have very high heavy metals and have to be processed chemically to map and DAT, which means that they can never qualify as organic. But 2 weeks ago, you gave us the answer to a question we've all been worried about. The weathered outcrop has very low heavy metals, low cadmium, low thorium, not a problem. But everybody was worried that the weathering may have leached out all these nasties, and when you get into fresh rock, you're suddenly, it's too high. It's not going to be organic, and it's too low grade to compete with these other higher grade heavy metal loaded sedimentary phosphate bed deposits. But the results showed that the fresh rock also is very low, and it's for the 1.5 kilometer segment of a 6.5 kilometers bed that's outcrop. And I estimate you take that on 300 meters down to maybe 10 to 20 million tons. But you have pending applications for about 7 other beds. And potentially we're talking about a 200 million ton resource here.
Over 30 kilometers.
So the question I have is, what is it about the nature of how these deposits form and the proximity of these other beds that allows us to speculate that what you're seeing in the fresh bedrock here is going to be similar everywhere else in terms of the heavy metal content?
Okay. With what we have on the Leech Mountain range, so we're 30 kilometers to strike. But when you think about how they're formed, it's all sedimentary, and it's all originally part of the same western phosphoric field that was a big ocean at one point covering 5 states. And as the water evaporated, any heavy metals that were in the bed that had come down from the mountains or been thrown up from the seabed would be concentrated in the center of the ocean and then precipitate out at depth. And Idaho, the open pit is 500 feet below surface. We are at 4,500 feet above surface. So there's a 5,000 foot difference in depth. So if heavy metals precipitate out at depth, you're not going to see them up where we are, which is the very rim, the edge of the bed, all along that 30 kilometer strike. So we think we're going to have the same phosphoric trend, about 30 meters in thickness, because it's contiguous and homogeneous in the first 6 holes, that we'll see that continuing through the balance of the 6 kilometers and then the balance of the 30 kilometer strike. So it's all one bed. It's all contiguous. It should all be homogeneous. It should be all heavy metal free. And the exciting thing for us too, when Gary looked at the logs for hole 6, it turns out that there's not only that 4 meter zone at the top of each of the holes, but also hole 6 had another 4 meters at the bottom of 17%. And let's not forget everything in between runs 1 to 3% P2O5 as well. So in eventually mining this, there's no waste, there's no water involved. It's really a coal seam mining operation, which will make this very attractive to sell to somebody who actually wants to mine it and bag it and set up.
So it's game on now for the story that this could be a scalable supply of organic phosphate for the organic farming market in the United States. Now, before I get into that part, how much time and money will you need to be able to deliver a resource estimate for the lease A bed?
Well, lease A.
Because you've only got drilled 6 holes into it and you need to go back in.
Yeah, we'll drill another. See, we don't have to drill as intensely on the next 6 holes, and that See, we drilled a click and a half out of a 6.5 click opportunity. So for the next 5 clicks, we expect that we'll find the bed at the same depth and contiguous and homogeneous to what we've already seen. So we only have to drill 1 hole every kilometer. So we've got 6 holes to drill. Well, this 6-hole program was $400,000 US. And we've got 12 million warrants being exercised now. I would expect that money will be in another week. It's another $750,000 on top of the $700,000 we have in hand right now. Our burn rate's de minimis is $15,000 a month. For the people like me who run the company, it's just 5 of us. It's not much. And so everything goes in the ground. We're all in it for the stock options. So it's really quite a reasonable thought of where we're going and what we're doing. But again, contiguous, homogeneous, it should be good for the whole 30 kilometers.
Now, I was curious about the size of the organic farm market, and the Agriculture Department puts out a census every 5 years. The last one was 2022, and only 3% of America's farms are certified as organic. And phosphate is indispensable. You have to have it. Where are they getting their organic phosphate from?
Bone meal.
And none of these are scalable because they're all byproduct of livestock cultivation.
Yep.
So this is a potentially big deal. And I know there's also other little rock phosphate deposits that can be ground up, because your idea is to take the whole rock, grind it up, blend it to the right level of phosphate that's suitable for the crop and the type of the nature of the soil and the farmer's field, and deliver it to them.
There's 2 things that we have to do. We have to take soil samples out of the pulps and send them to OMRI in California to get it certified organic.
Yeah.
That'll take about 6 months.
And that's mainly to make sure that the heavy metals are all like way below the limits.
Yes.
And then the next thing is the agronomic studies, because you can't just make one size that fits all. You have to create blends for the.
Well, there's University of Florida, California State, Carolina State, Iowa State, University of California, UC Davis, Washington State University, all have Center for Sustainable Agricultural and Natural Resources. So we will send product to them, and they'll put it in their greenhouses in the beds and run independent bed testing and see what grows and what doesn't using our product. And that'll take a year. But by the time we're through drilling, that result should be coming in, and we'll know what it's going to work for and what it won't. We know that historically, main organic farming this works for avocados, almonds, grapevines, lick wine. It will not work for corn or wheat, which are broad-based, huge swaths of property.
Yeah.
This is for moderate concentrate. So even tomatoes, lettuce, whatever you want to do in truck farming, this will have an application. It'll probably be blended down to about a 6 or 7% level. We think that historically we've sort of seen references in some material, but not much, that maybe anything more than 8% will burn the crops. So it's always been our target to, let's think about 8%, maybe 7%.
But that's what these agronomic studies are going to figure out. What's the right? And of course, whoever is mining and grinding this stuff can do the blending to exactly what the customers need. And you have the Union Pacific Railway that goes right there.
6 kilometers.
And I looked at the Agriculture Department map, and it's the whole sort of west coast of the United States, which specialize in vegetables, fruits, nuts, and all that. That's where the organic farming
Even
is
west of
concentrated.
Reno. There's a large organic farming group west of Reno, right in the state.
So one of the things I like about this story is it's not a political story. I mean, gold is kind of political. All the other metals like copper are political. We have this boomer generation that wants to live forever, and as they realize they haven't passed away yet, they say, "Oh, I better start taking care of myself so I can continue to enjoy this." And so this idea that more organic food becomes available will resonate across the spectrum. It isn't going to just be the old greenies who are into organic. It's going to be
Yeah.
make America healthy again.
I'm 75 and I'm a Maha guy. Make me healthy again.
And start eating organic. But the scalability of organic
question.
supply
It's
has
huge.
been so limited
Yep.
because of the bone meal and the manure. I mean, how far do you transport stinking manure?
Well, the other problem with manure is like MAP and DAP. The nitrogen and other things are soluble in the rain. So excuse me, Iowa has a terrible problem between the MAP and DAP on the fields and the manure in the feedlots that leaches into the water table. They're running out of drinkable water. So it's a real problem, and we're the solution. And I don't know what that means at the end of the day when Nutrien or Mosaic wake up and realize that there's a new game in town, and it's the only one, because there is another smaller opportunity in the south of Brazil called Agia, but it's a carbonatite that's weathered, so they're scraping off the phosphate off that. It's igneous. So it's much smaller, might be 70 million tons, maybe it's 50 million tons, but it's going to go and be used in Brazil. Like everything that's produced in Brazil, no matter what product it is, if it's good for fertilizer, is consumed in Brazil. Whereas this will be North America, but frankly, it's all going to get absorbed in the West Coast.
Now, it took you $1 million in multiple years to get permission to drill. Phosphate leases are different from the gold or metallic
we're not
leases. You've got these other 3 applications pending. How long do you think will you have to go through the same protracted process, or is it going to be better?
We've learned. Like the BLM had never done a lease before because it's all staking, right? Gold and silver are all staking in drill. We're a lease. And frankly, it's more an oil and gas design lease idea.
Yes.
But they've applied it to phosphate and potash. Why, I don't know. But now we're a critical mineral, and we've got support, and the BLM really understands it. And now we've developed some political connections that we can accelerate the process. But what we want to do is we've learned that we only disturb 5-6 acres for a kilometer drill program. So why did we have to do a 1,700 acre environmental assessment that says it's all rocks and pinyon trees and sage grass? We don't need to do that. What we want to do is persuade the BLM, let us have the small permit now to drill like we have now. And then once we're through drilling and find something, let us go back and do the environmental assessment on all 1,800 acres for each permit.
And because of the nature of these beds dipping into the mountains, it's never going to be open pit mine. You're going underground
coal seam.
mine. Yeah, coal seam.
All coal seam. As a matter of fact, where we are now, we're on the top of the bed, drilling into it. So all we do is you pivot 90 degrees to the face of the hill, put your adit there, and go. Your 26-degree dip, but not all the way down. It starts to flatten out about 50 meters down. And so coal seam, you just put a coal seam tractor in that grinds up the front and put it in a truck, and good old boys that truck rock in Nevada all the time, truck it down to Montello, run it through a grinder, through a bagger. You pick up the 4-cube bag with a forklift, take it across the street to the railhead, put it in a rail car, ship it to California.
Excellent.
Break it up, grind it up, bag it up, ship it up.
Well, I'm glad we cleared these big milestones of permission to drill, confirming that it's going to hopefully be certified as organic because the heavy metals are way low. And this is going to be an exciting year.
Please, Jesus.
I've been speaking with Robin Dow of Nevada Organic Phosphate. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, John.